Welcome back to the Living Soil Lab, where we're always searching for that next breakthrough combination that takes garden performance from good to extraordinary. Today, we're revealing something that started as a simple kitchen observation and evolved into one of the most powerful microbial inoculants we've ever tested. Most gardeners know about compost tea and its benefits for soil biology, but what if I told you there's a simple kitchen byproduct that supercharges compost tea's effectiveness by providing the perfect food source for beneficial microbes? We're talking about potato water, that starchy liquid most people pour down the drain, combined with actively aerated compost tea to create a synergistic blend that activates your soil food web like nothing else. This isn't just another fertilizer recipe, it's a biological catalyst that transforms how efficiently your soil cycles nutrients and supports plant health, all without a single synthetic input. The fundamental difference between conventional gardening and the living soil approach is understanding that you're not really feeding plants, you're feeding the billions of microorganisms that, in turn, feed your plants. Every handful of healthy soil contains more living organisms than there are humans on Earth, and these microbes are constantly working to break down organic matter, solubilize mineral nutrients, protect roots from pathogens, and produce compounds that enhance plant growth. The challenge is that microbial populations in garden soil can become depleted or imbalanced through tillage, compaction, chemical inputs, or simply lack of organic matter. What your soil needs isn't just nutrients, it needs a fresh infusion of diverse active microorganisms, along with the food sources those microbes require to establish thriving populations. This is where our synergistic combination comes in. Compost tea provides concentrated populations of beneficial bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and nematodes extracted from quality compost. Potato water provides readily available carbohydrates, minerals, and B vitamins that serve as premium fuel for these microorganisms. When you combine these two ingredients, you're not just adding microbes to your soil, you're adding them along with the exact food source they need to explode in population and activity the moment they contact your soil. The results are visible within days as plants respond to the suddenly enhanced nutrient availability and root zone protection that a thriving microbial community provides. Most gardeners have no idea they're pouring liquid gold down their drains every time they boil potatoes. Potato water is rich in potassium, an essential macronutrient that plants need for flower and fruit development, disease resistance, and stress tolerance. It also contains significant phosphorus, which drives root development and energy transfer within plant cells. Beyond these macronutrients, potato water is loaded with B vitamins that leached from the potato flesh during cooking, along with traces of other minerals, and, crucially, simple and complex carbohydrates in the form of starches that dissolved into the water. These carbohydrates are what make potato water so valuable for our purposes. They're essentially pre-digested plant material in a form that soil microorganisms can metabolize immediately. When beneficial bacteria contact potato water, they experience what's essentially a sugar rush. The simple carbohydrates provide instant energy that fuels rapid cell division and population growth, while the complex starches offer sustained food sources that keep microbial populations elevated for days after application. The minerals and vitamins in potato water also support microbial metabolism, helping these organisms function more efficiently as they break down organic matter and cycle nutrients. Collecting potato water couldn't be simpler. Whenever you boil potatoes for a meal, simply let the cooking water cool to room temperature and store it in a clean container. You can refrigerate it for up to a week, though fresher is always better. Some gardeners even save their pasta water, rice water, or vegetable steaming water for similar benefits, though potato water tends to be the most nutrient-rich of these kitchen byproducts. Used alone, potato water provides modest benefits as a mild fertilizer and microbial food source. We've tested it as a soil drench around established plants and seen subtle improvements in growth and vigor. However, potato water's true potential only emerges when you combine it with a dense population of beneficial microbes that can immediately capitalize on those available nutrients and carbohydrates. This is why the synergy with compost tea is so powerful. You're providing both the workers and their food in one application. Compost tea is fundamentally different from simply mixing compost with water and straining it. True compost tea is an actively aerated liquid culture where beneficial microorganisms are extracted from compost and then encouraged to multiply rapidly in an oxygen-rich aqueous environment. The aeration is crucial because it selects for aerobic microbes, the beneficial bacteria and fungi that dominate healthy soil ecosystems, while suppressing anaerobic organisms that can cause problems for plants. A properly brewed compost tea contains exponentially more microorganisms than the compost you started with, all suspended in water, where they can be easily applied directly to plant leaves and soil. Brewing quality compost tea starts with quality compost. You need finished compost that's been properly managed, dark and crumbly with an earthy smell, ideally made from diverse organic materials to ensure microbial diversity. Place roughly 2 cups of this compost in a mesh bag or old pillowcase, submerge it in 5 gallons of dechlorinated water, and add an aquarium air pump with an air stone to provide vigorous aeration. So, the magic really happens when you combine freshly brewed, actively aerated compost tea with room temperature potato water at a ratio of roughly 4 parts tea to 1 part potato water. This combination creates a microbial inoculant that's, honestly, far more effective than either ingredient alone. The dense microbial population from the compost tea encounters the readily available carbohydrates and nutrients from the potato water and responds with explosive activity. Application methods. Well, they really depend on your specific goals. As a soil drench, you'll want to use approximately 1 gallon of the mixture per 10 square feet of garden bed, applying it directly to the soil around plant root zones. The liquid penetrates quickly, carrying microbes deep into the root zone where they establish populations that persist for weeks. The immediate effects are often visible within, 3 to 5 days. Plants show deeper green coloration as nitrogen becomes more available through enhanced microbial cycling. Growth rates accelerate noticeably as improved nutrient uptake and root zone conditions support more vigorous metabolism. The long-term benefits really compound over time as repeated applications build increasingly robust and diverse soil food webs that require less external input to maintain high fertility. We found that beds receiving regular applications of this mixture every 2 to 3 weeks during the growing season show measurably higher organic matter content, better soil structure, and, honestly, superior water retention compared to beds receiving conventional organic fertilizers. Our side-by-side trials comparing plants treated with the compost tea and potato water blend versus untreated controls produced dramatic results that, honestly, convinced us this combination deserves a permanent place in our gardening toolkit. Tomato plants receiving the mixture every 2 weeks showed yields that were about 25% higher, measurably higher Brix levels indicating better nutrient density, and, get this, virtually zero foliar disease, even though there was significant late blight pressure in untreated plants. Integrating this practice into your regular gardening routine is really straightforward, and the time investment is minimal compared to the results you can get. Just brew a batch of compost tea every 2 to 3 weeks during the active growing season, and try to time your brews for when you'll have potato water available from meal preparation. If you don't cook potatoes regularly, that's totally fine. You can brew compost tea without potato water and simply add molasses or a small amount of fruit juice as a microbial food source, though we've consistently found that the potato water combination produces superior results. If you're ready to supercharge your soil biology and unlock new levels of garden productivity using simple, proven techniques, go ahead and subscribe to the Living Soil Lab. We're constantly testing innovative combinations and sharing transparent results that help you build genuinely living soil without expensive inputs. Share this guide with fellow gardeners who are ready to embrace biological approaches that work with nature's systems rather than against them, and join our community that's proving the most powerful garden solutions are often the simplest ones.